Hotep, all power to the people, and black power. This is Black Superman, your black superhero. In this video, I'm going to be offering some general solutions to black or African empowerment. And right here, I'm going to say a disclaimer. When I say the word black, I'm using it interchangeably with the word African, so we won't get caught up in the wordplay. But basically, yeah, this video is about, a general way. Well, not a general way. Let's all get a general understanding. One of the first things, if you out there, and regardless of who you are, if you in the business of, if you a good guy and you're trying to save the world, I'm just gonna say that there's certain things we got to get straight first. First, you have to identify white supremacy and capitalism as the primary enemy. And I'm going to repeat that. You have to identify white supremacy and capitalism as the problem. You know what I mean? Being that white supremacy is sustained through capitalism. People are being economically enslaved through capitalism. You know what I mean? It's the ultimate divide and conquer device. The people who invented it are, let's just say, harnessed it, are quoted in history as saying, I can basically damage you better than any army can through capitalism. So, again, you have to identify that as the enemy. So with that being said, okay, if white supremacy and capitalism is the enemy, one of the things you have to understand is how you are being enslaved through capitalism. And I'm gonna give you the short version on that, but basically, it puts people in a position, money brings the worst out of people. In case of African people, like Malcolm X said, they want to criminalize us. So, why or do people break laws? Why do people rob, steal, and kill? It's for money. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna really get into all that in this video, so I'm gonna leave that to another video. But you have to have a proper understanding on how capitalism is the enemy. If you don't have that, pretty much you're going to have a warped belief on what you think the solution is. So don't let that be the case to you and whoever you is. So I'm going to go on with this and just pretty much break certain things down in terms of the economic status of America. One of the things they ain't telling you is basically that the Titanic is sinking. There's hella books out there. A very good one is The Creature from Jekyll Island that pretty much explains in detail on how capitalism, the Federal Reserve Bank, and all of the above has been the enemy. A lot of people know this, but you have to acknowledge this. You know what I mean? So, and I said this in one of my videos before, fascism and capitalism has evolved, and our oppression has evolved so much that we can't even buy our way out of this. You know what I mean? Even if we spent money with our own people, and that's one of the things you're going to have to do, but like I said before, you can't buy your way out of this. The problem has far evolved beyond just simply economics. You know what I mean? Although it's still political, but in terms as far as African people being oppressed economically, there's no way we gonna liberate ourselves or get out this hole, trying to, play Monopoly against the banker. You know what I mean? It's only going to be one winner, and this is what this is: monopoly capital or monopoly corporatism, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? This is where we at now in America. This is why you see a whole bunch of white people now complaining, because we already poor. When I say complaining, I'm talking about this whole Occupy movement that's been going on. Because simply you can't squeeze blood out of a turnip. You can't tax the poor, and the majority of our people are already poor. Majority of our people don't own anything. So when you hear Obama, even when he's talking about the small businessman and the homeowner, he's not talking about us. So if you're an Obama believer, you might as well get over that. He is not for you, never has been. So, but I'm gonna continue. Like I said, the Titanic is sinking. When you hear, on TV them bailing out nations and bailing out companies, that's the name of the game, bailout. The real estate market, it's pretty much, only the rich get richer. If you was rich, yeah, will be a good time for you, because you can buy up more stuff. And that's really all that means when they bail out these so-called private companies, is what we're seeing is a consolidation of power by the establishment, our government, our devil, our beast. You know what I mean? It's really all the same thing. So when you see this consolidation of power taking place, because that's when you know fascism is here, because fascism is the appearance that you got a choice. That's why right now the only good voting do is show that it does not work. You know what I mean? So none of our people, you have to understand that, because if you don't understand that and you still think we can buy our way out of this, you're going to be telling our people to, we need to get our own political party. You know what I mean? It's still advocating working within the spectrum of white supremacy. You know what I mean? And to truly liberate yourself, you have to really identify the problem, because it has been plenty of examples of history when our people, who are the superior people by nature, it ain't not got nothing to do with pride, it's just a fact. You know what I mean? But even from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and even before then, there has been attempts by our people to totally, non-violently help themselves and build their own so-called economy within America or anywhere else. And history tells us what the enemy did. They either burnt it down, lynched it, or undermined it in some sort of way, created a law to prevent it, because that's what fascism does, respond to the attempts of the people. You know what I mean? So you got to get this. If you don't get this, you know what I mean, you're really not going to understand. So this type of battle, we really don't need to fight it from uphill, although the movement needs to be grassrootly built, so to speak. You cannot fight this battle uphill. You have to attack it from the top down. You know what I mean? Because the enemy is far evolved now. You know what I mean? He's not going to even allow you to do that. I hear, certain things in terms of, and this is everything, even in the healthcare industry, you know what I mean? Even if we do have people, for one, all our people got to be on the same accord. Right now, they own all the institutions, you know what I mean? So even when our people go to these colleges, they may be black on the outside, so to speak, but white on the inside, because when they go to their universities, they go there to get programmed. So, I mean, the person, our people got to, got to have that black awareness already going in. Most of us don't have that, because we're not having these dinner table conversations, because they didn't already halfway as successfully destroyed the black family. So most of our people ain't even having, luckily alone, if you have both parents in the house, let alone having dinner table conversations, that's because most of your parents at work half the damn day anyway, because of that. So all this you have to take in consideration. This is why a cooperative, and let me go back to that medical thing I was just speaking on, because, and not even just that, in any because we're being attacked on all fronts, and yes, we must defend on all fronts, but you must know how to defend. Honestly, and I'm just gonna keep it real, the primary business our people need to be involved in right now is revolutionary activity, not even reformism. You know what I mean? First, we need to get this knowledge itself and strictly, really primarily detach. And when black people choose to detach, you're going to see that the government is not going to allow you to peacefully detach. Therefore, it has to be revolutionary, because that's the only way they're going to even let your ass go and not being a slave. So, any other way, just get it out your head. You know what I mean? Trust me. Because that's the only way, not even history, even if history didn't tell it, it's just a primary fact. You know what I mean? The beast, the devil, the government, the establishment, the man, whatever you want to call it, has far evolved in his oppression of people. So we need to quit ignoring the obvious, the elephant in the room, so to speak. And if you're afraid, just say you're afraid. Don't mislead other people into thinking that's a viable solution when it's not. Trust me, if we can buy our way out of this, we would have did it a long time ago. It ain't, like I said, there's been plenty successful brothers and sisters who have tried to do certain things and they got undermined. You know what I mean? Hell, even Michael Jackson, when he mentioned putting together an all black music distribution thing for point to finish, see what happened to him, and along with other CEOs, but I ain't even gonna get into that. You know what I mean? It's just really a matter of knowing what's going on. Like I said, capitalism and white supremacy. So how do you combat capitalism? Is pretty much through a socialist arrangement. And let's not get it twisted, because socialism can be used against you, hence welfare and all this other so-called social programs. So when we mention a socialist perspective, we meaning do for self cooperative, because that's going to get the people together. You know what I mean? And that's why you see a lot of Oriental families come to America, 20 of them in one house, and they all move out and start accumulating stuff, because they're using a socialist, because they came from a socialist arrangement. You know what I mean? And back to arrangement, under this arrangement in America, you cannot totally do for self as a people and expect the FBI and the beast not to fuck with you. The Black Panthers told you that with the social programs. You know what I mean? Hell, a lot of people don't even know this. Food stamps was a response by the government to try to undermine the Panthers program, to Feed the People program. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I mean? And this is where people need to read, research history. You know what I mean? Involve politics in your, as well with the history. You know what I mean? And like I said, you have to know capitalism is part of the problem, because that's how white supremacy is being sustained. You know what I mean? They got laws to do whatever they want. You know what I mean? So whatever you accumulate, I mean, yeah, they can take it. They're going to take it. Or they're going to, you know, like I said, draft new laws to undermine your efforts. So, and again, I'm really trying to, you know, and I'm freestyling this video, but I'm really trying to get it through, you know, our people's heads that, you know, these two identifiers, you have to identify that by that as the enemy, as well as, you know, it's just simple.